Hey guys, what's up? I'm Lee with dualsim.us, and right now I want to make a quick video about 5 things that I absolutely hate about this BLU Pure XL phone. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love this phone. I'm gonna use it as my primary phone, but some things are really annoying it, so I want to tell you all about it. Let's watch. So, thing number 1 that I really hate about this phone is capacitive touch buttons. And they're physical buttons, they're not on screen, so you can see them there. So number 1, they're really hard to see. And besides that, they're also really hard to press. Basically, the sensor area is very small, and if you put your finger just maybe 1/8 of an inch to the right or to the left or below or above the button, you will not press it. It takes really long time to press. And especially so much so after I've put a glass screen protector on this phone. Basically, once I did that, these buttons became even more difficult to press. Now, one thing I do like about those buttons is that the back button, the one that I use the most, is on the right hand side. So I'm a right-handed person, and it's pretty easy to press a back button. But now it's become really difficult to find them and to press them, and I'll show you. So let me unlock the phone. Let's go, say, into Google Maps, and let's say I want to press home. Like, usually the sensor area is pretty big, so even if you miss it by a quarter inch, it works. But here I'm missing it. I'm like almost on the button itself. You see, here's the center, and the home button is right in the center. So my finger is right there, but nothing works. So I have to move it to the right. I usually have to press button twice at least to actually hit it. Okay, so that was thing number 1. Number 2 is dedicated camera button. While I really love having this dedicated camera button on the phone, it doesn't always work well. So, for example, usually you would want to use that button to quickly access your camera when your screen is locked, because if you want to get to the camera, you have to unlock the phone, start the camera app. Now, unlocking doesn't always work, even with the fingerprint. Sometimes you miss it. So, if you need to quickly catch a photo or a video, you want the camera to be right there within a second. So the physical camera button located right here, if you press it, first of all you have to hold it 3 seconds or more. So I'm pressing it now really hard, and you can see nothing is happening. So I have to do it again, nothing happens. So very annoying. If you press it twice, you will open the camera and make this multiple capture. So it works, but in some fucked up way. Excuse my French. So yeah, so that's the thing I hate about the physical camera button. Sometimes it works great, like you press it and 3 seconds later the camera app pops up, but not all the time. So that's number 2. Number 3 is BLU will probably never make an update for this phone to Marshmallow, Android 6. It might make some small incremental updates, like security updates here and there, but they have very bad history of never making updates and definitely never upgrading to next version of Android. And this is really annoying and unfortunate. Now, most people don't really care, and I don't even know what's so good about Marshmallow. I didn't even watch the presentation about it. I don't know what's new in it, but I want to have latest and greatest. And just because BLU is lazy, and I know it costs a lot of money for them, and these are budget phones, but you know what? They bought this phone from Gioni for about $150 at the most. So with all the fees and everything, they're making at least $100 on this phone. After all, commissions and so on. Of course, they have to sell it cheaper to resellers, but they still make quite a lot of money on it. And I think they should definitely release software updates for it, at least small ones, like the camera. The stock camera app is kind of buggy on this phone, and they should make an update for that. But like I said, you know, I'm not keeping my fingers crossed. They probably will never make that update available. So number 4 on my list is current lack of root access to this phone. Now, again, this is not going to be important for everybody, but people buying this phone are probably power users. I consider myself to be a power user, and I use a lot of root apps on not daily basis, but often. You know, like for example, backup apps, Titanium backup, and all that good stuff. And I just want to get rid of this stock ROM and try something else. For example, if I want that, I have no way to do that right now because once again, BLU is not cooperating. They're not releasing the kernel source, they're not helping developers, and so on. And I mean, in part, the Gionee, the manufacturer of this phone, is to blame, but BLU as a seller has access to all that, to all those files, and they're not giving them to us. And of course, this phone is locked, so we can't get root. And number 5 annoying thing on my list is the size of this phone. Now, while I do love the screen on this phone, it's bright, it's got great viewing angles, like you can, like I'm turning it almost sideways, you can still see what's going on the screen. And right now the brightness is to a minimum, you know, so my camera actually can see what's going on the screen. When I increase the brightness, it's great. I love bright screens, but the phone size is enormous, and I don't really like that because often I use the phone with one hand, and even reaching the multitasking button with one hand is a pain. Never mind actually getting something on top of the screen. And it is actually a lot easier to do it on a BLU Studio's Energy 2, which is a 5-inch screen, so I can reach most things with one hand, but not here. Now, I understand it's a compromise, this is a high-end device, but, you know, it's a personal complaint. It's not really something wrong with the phone itself, but the big size of the phone makes it pretty hard to use with one hand, so you sometimes or often you need to use it with both hands. All right, guys, basically, the thing that I would want to see BLU make available is actually adjustable software buttons, on-screen buttons, and a way for us to disable the hardware capacitive buttons. So that would be number 1 on my list, and also to fix the functionality of the camera button, the physical camera button. Everything else I can live with. I don't really need Marshmallow. The phone is pretty usable by itself, and I can actually live without root now that I've been using this phone for months. You know, I don't really need all those root apps, but it's nice to have options, you know, because I have a phone, I want to do something with it. Hey guys, and here's a bonus number 6 thing that I hate about this BLU Pure XL phone, and I don't really have a reference point to compare that to, but this phone lacks band 12 for T-Mobile. Now, band 12, if some of you don't know, it's actually great for building inside the building reception and for rural areas reception. Like, they don't have to place towers very close to each other because the low frequency 700 megahertz radio wavelength can reach you even if you're far from the tower, so you get good reception, good speed, and if you are inside the building, you still get good reception and good speed. And if you watched my dual SIM functionality review of this phone, I'm talking there about how I don't have good reception, if any reception, on SIM number 2 inside my house. Now I have brick and concrete. I live in a brick and concrete apartment building, and even Verizon has shitty reception inside, so it's not T-Mobile to blame there, but my SIM number 2 often disconnects inside the house. It works great otherwise, but inside the building it's very poor reception. Now I have LTE speed booster, so SIM 1 always works great inside my house, but SIM 2 disconnects, and it would be really nice if there was a band 12 in this phone, but like I said, this is a pretty new thing. Only the newest phones that came out this year support that, so I have no reference point. I've lived without band 12 all my life. I've been on T-Mobile for about 6 years, and actually I've been doing fine so far, no complaints. So it's a hypothetical thing, but would be really nice to have. Okay, guys, so this was Lee with dealsim.us. Thanks for watching this video. Please click the like button if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel. And if you didn't buy this phone yet, you're still thinking about it, like I said, it's a great phone. You can watch my full review of this phone. It's 37 minutes long. It's on my channel. I know it's long, but you will find out a lot of things about it. And this will help you make your decision. It's $350 on Amazon. There is a link in the description below if you'd like to get it. And thanks for watching once again. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.